do want to say something. I want to thank all the U.S. Marshals for their help and all the TV stations for all their help. I'm very happy that my granddaughter's coming home, and I just want to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart.
Little Haylee's grandmother thanks authorities and the media for bringing the precious 4-year-old home. Haylee was found last night at a Christian retreat center in rural California. Both her mother and her mother's sex offender boyfriend are in custody tonight. And I'm back with my panel. Plus, by phone, Michael Nolting, news director at WMRN-AM in Marion, Ohio. Michael, let me begin with you. What are you hearing about little Haylee? How is she doing? Where is she? And when is she coming home to Grandma?
Well, right now, we're hearing that she is in the custody of the San Diego County Child Protective Services. That they'll hold her for a minimum of 48 hours. Now, as of late, we have heard that Candace has filed some sort of an action to disrupt the temporary custody that was awarded to her mother. So we're watching that situation and trying to figure out exactly how she can do that.
Unbelievable. So not only is she in love with the sex offender, folks, now she wants her child back. Darren Kavanoki, is this a joke or something? What is going on? Does she not realize what has happened in the last month?
You know, she's got an uphill battle on this one, because I'm sure once a judge looks at this, I have a feeling that being in custody may be a disqualifying factor when it comes time to having sole physical custody over the child. You know, is Grandma behind bars? No, I think we're going to let Grandma run the show here.
Unbelievable.
I think that she's probably gearing up for her mental defense, because she obviously is mental if she thinks that she's getting
Dale Archer, Dr. Dale Archer, is it possible that she's in denial, that she doesn't really realize everything that's going on here? We've heard talk that maybe she's bipolar.
I'm definitely not saying bipolar, and I'm not.
And during the news conference, her mother did make a comment that her daughter was bipolar. But I think that the main thing to focus on here is the effectiveness, number one, of law enforcement, the way that the public was able to...
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, Michael. I mean, talking about the public outcry here and the public attention and all the help with the billboards and the coverage and everything else. Let me... Dr. Dale Archer, I wanted to ask you about her state of mind, Mom's state of mind here.
Right. You know, first of all, it doesn't matter if she's bipolar. That doesn't give her insanity defense, not even close.
Right.
And I'm not seeing anything in what I've seen or read to indicate that that's the case. So if she does have it, it'd be a very mild condition, and that really means nothing here. What's important is that she...
I couldn't agree more with you, but I would just add to you, we have been following this story since June the 2nd, and this story has taken more twists and turns.
Absolutely.
Well, it's taken twists and turns, but I think that when you're talking about her mental state, the bottom line is that she willingly and knowingly helped this guy escape, and then went to great lengths to keep from getting
to hide. She changed her appearance. Here's what we're going to do, folks. Quick time out. I want to bring in one of our viewers and watchers here, Ivy in California. Good evening, Ivy. What's on your mind tonight?
Yes, Vinny. I hope that the mother of that little Haylee, she needs to be punished severely for what she put that little child through, having her with a sex offender. My problem now is I wonder what psychological damage she has done to this little Haylee.
Yeah. Well, it's a two-pronged question. Dale Archer first.
I'd like to weigh in on that. I think that's very important, because what's important is, what did Haylee perceive this to be? It could be that in her mind, this was nothing more than a great fun vacation and nothing happened to her. So there doesn't necessarily have to be any psychological ramifications from this, and that's what Child Protection will be figuring out over the next 2 days. You very gently interview the child, you don't put any suggestions in their head, and you make sure there's no signs of abuse or trauma. And if they're not, she may be able to go to the grandmom and do fine with nothing more being done.
Stacey Honowitz, as a prosecutor in this case, who is the worst offender here? The sex offender, Robbie Potter, or the mother? Who do you see as the true villain in this?
Well, listen, he's already been a convicted sex offender. He's a pedophile. I really think in this situation that she is worse, to endanger this child and allow her to be in the company of this person. And what she did was she allowed him to violate all the laws. According to the Adam Walsh Act, he never checked in, he never registered, all those terrible things that you hear about pedophiles never doing. She helped him, she aided him, she abetted him in doing all these things. And then she subjected her daughter to it. So really, when you look at this scenario, she's worse than he is.
Unless, of course,
child or did something to that child,
Right.
then of course he becomes the worst of the two.
Right,
But
right.
Stacy, weren't you listening to Vinny at the top of the show when he was talking about how important love? I can't even do it with a straight face.
Oh,
No,
come
you're
on.
absolutely
Come
right.
on, stop the love, would you? I mean,
The things we do for love. There was a song about that, wasn't there? The things we do for love.
That's right.
I'll tell you,
we have to
Vinny,
do a
I'm
lot
going to
of
ask
stupid
another
things
question.
for
I'd
love.
like to know how a lawyer, seriously, if somebody filed that paperwork for her to get custody back, I'd like to know what lawyer would actually like to pick up a case like that. Seriously.
Well, yes.
How a lawyer could look at that with a straight face and file papers.
Yeah, but everyone's
It's almost
entitled to
unethical.
representation.
In fairness,
no question,
hang on.
and that's a great point. But I think that we do need to consider here that the entire family comes from a culture of incarceration, of living on the wrong side of the law, whether it was the little girl's father, the little girl's uncle. That was their life.
All right.
Well,
thank
and
you,
we
everyone.
don't
We're out of
know-
time. We're out of time, folks. But thank you so much. More on this truly happy ending a little bit later on in the program. And be sure to watch Nancy Grace.
This is why it's really important that they do a psychological evaluation on Haley's grandmother to make sure that she's fit to care for this child based on the way her daughter and her son turned out. So something is just not right, needs to be checked out so that the door is open and it's safe for Haley to return back within that family. I mean, I'm pleased that the grandmother fought. I'm not against that whatsoever, but please check out to make sure everybody's healthy enough to take care of Haley.